Who's there? It's Greg.
Oh God, hold on.
What up, Greg?
Okay, welcome to Happy Hour, the once-a-week gaming talk show on Shack News where we play a game and talk about other games. This week, we're playing Mutant Football League and talking about, I don't know, whatever you guys want to talk about. I'll probably talk a little bit about Animal Crossing New, or what is it called? Not New Leaf, Pocket Camp, the iOS game. And I'm sure Greg has something to complain about.
Always. Every time.
I just want to hear Greg's opinion on all the big divisive topics.
Politics, game.
Everything. What's your stance on assisted suicide?
Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah, Greg.
The lines of the Shack News.
Come on, Greg. Hot take. Assisted suicide, good or bad?
God, that's the hot topic.
That was a
Yeah,
hot...
I'll just politicize it. Well, there are many factors to consider. Then I'll talk for about 15 minutes and not give you an answer.
Wait, there's teams that are locked behind stuff?
You have to play the single player to unlock them.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So I have to make the playoffs in season mode to even play as my crappy team that I bought?
Mm-hmm.
I have to play through a whole season?
Maybe you should email Ernie Mutant League and see if he can help you out.
Fine, I'll be a better team. That's some BS, man. How am I'm locked behind a... Come on, man. Fine, I'll be, someone else, I guess. The Tokyo Terminators look pretty terrible.
I don't know what team that's supposed to be.
They're not called the Steve.
Can I play the single player with someone else, or is it... No, I have to do that myself.
No.
Of course not. This game's a Kickstarter. The micro
The Seahawks are called the Mutilators.
Cleveland Burns locked behind a grind wall.
The only team I've unlocked is the Blitzburg Steelheads.
It's weird that they would lock teams up.
They just want you to play the game.
They want you to buy loot crates.
Well, I guess we have to be... I could be the Scarolina Panthers. Panzers. That's a terrible name. Or the Croakland Invaders. Also a pretty terrible name.
Or the Colts and the Tyrants.
The Colts and the Tyrants? Okay, let's do it. Locked in. Well, it sounds like I'm gonna have to grind.
We're live at Threat Stadium here in New York, New York, the home of the Tyrants.
New York, New York.
I think that's where Greg was born.
Where?
New York.
New York.
13 landmines.
New York City.
Game looks really good.
It's actually really well polished for what it is too. This is my first online match though, so maybe it all breaks apart here.
Probably.
Welcome to MFL Game Day. Grim Blitzrow here.
But the presentation, all that is really nice.
The team's captains have to say.
Greg, have you played the Animal Crossing game yet?
No, but it's all over Twitter and you. I'm like, oh my God.
So I'm here with two people that haven't played.
All over Thanksgiving. It's just crazy.
Two people that haven't played the game. I'm playing the game. I like it.
I'm not a fan of Sims like that. Like just like.
Did you like the Animal Crossing games for 3DS? Or
Never played it. I've never played any.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. I understand what you're saying with like not liking Sims kind of games, but out of all of them, Animal Crossing was like the least offensive to me. I liked fishing in that game.
It's also insanely popular. I remember in high school, like.
Oh boy. So now he's dead, right? Now my quarterback's dead.
Monezuma was very
He looks
successful.
really,
Was he?
really
I wonder
nice.
what made him so mad.
That was probably all the diarrhea.
No, you're probably right.
And spew up Chuck. Dead.
The commentator just insinuated that you make it with dogs.
And cursed everyone who came to Mexico forever to crap their pants. Sounds like he didn't really think it through, because, you know, he should have made it specifically for the owners of the inclusives, but not the guests.
What the
The
fuck
ball
are
is
you
out for
talking
mine.
about?
I don't really know right now. What day is it?
A great throw and a great catch, but sadly to the wrong team.
Ooh, hope he's got a good chiropractor.
Ginormous Stankins instead of Janoris Jenkins.
There was that article that was written right before Thanksgiving about like the sad truth, and it got a lot of controversy. It was like outlets. I want to say New York Times
You keep cutting out,
Cutting
Greg.
out.
about like this.
Like your voice activation level is probably too high or whatever. If you're doing it that way.
Not hear me? Wait, can you not hear me?
It just we can
We
hear
could,
you.
but it was cutting out constantly.
Oh, okay. I'll just talk closer to the mic.
That's it. Get
So there was
real
an
close.
article, like it was from the New York Post or New York Times or
The
what-
New York Times.
something. It was from something.
Ah!
It was talking about the
Mall
state of the
Berserkins!
industry, and it talking about the controversial, this whole loot box thing, which has completely exploded, which is amazing. But it brought up a lot of good points about how game design has increased, but the game's overall price has not. And the article itself drew a lot of controversy because the guy writing it wasn't a gaming journalist, so he got a lot of flack for it. But I read it, and it's
Here's
thought
a
it was
really
pretty
simple
straightforward.
question about
Games need to cost more.
I read that article too. And I understand when he's talking about the development costs have gone up, but are the companies making these games profitable or not, Greg? That's the real question. And if they are profitable, I don't think that's the case. That you have to be like, oh, they need these to stay profitable. Or they need to increase the cost of the game to be more profitable. It's like, EA's doing fine because people are obsessed with FIFA and Madden. You know, and it's like,
They're back up here on first down. And the
I don't know.
decides to kill the ref.
I killed the ref?
As hell and not gonna take it.
No, I ran the play to kill the ref because I scored a good play and the ref called me a penalty because he said I talked about him behind his back.
Oh, I paid the ref off for that. I love how real this game is. The dirty tricks are great.
The offense goes into their
It's like you can just bribe the ref, Greg.
It's the same thing as
just like in real life.
I know, right? Like Tom Brady's like, here, have $50.
great pass on that play. They caught the defense napping.
No, it's funny because you know you're right. They're still profitable. I think it just gets every year. I think they have to sell more and more copies to continue profitable. Because I was reading something. This is a while ago, but like a AAA game like Assassin's Creed 3 needs to sell like 1 million copies to break even, or something ridiculous. Where it used to be like 250,000 copies, which considered, and now they have to sell like 1 million.
But like
Or just,
a million copies, if you're Assassin's Creed and you have a total addressable market on PlayStation of like 60 million and on Xbox of 20 million, that's, unless your game sucks, you're gonna sell that.
Skeletons make it to the end zone in one piece. That's
Like,
all that's
make a
going
good
on.
game has always been my argument. Like, I don't think games need to go up in price. I think that some studios need to do what Hellblade did, and make these smaller slices of games that cost $30, and make more of them. I think you'll end up seeing better sales that way. Because you have to think about it from the
That's that
consumer
market on
perspective.
Steam.
What?
The Brits can't even get one.
Bam! Gutsy run for the conversion.
You went for 2?
Shake your money maker, big man. You earned it.
All's fair in Mutant League.
Also, if you have that market on Steam,
Yeah. You keep cutting
yeah,
out.
I think the problem when that comes to like the console is that you have to manufacture the disc and the case and the shipment, and then by the time that's all done, you have to charge more than $30 for your game. Charge like. But did Hellblade or that Hell game, did that come out on like a
It was
physical
digital
disc? Can you go to the
only
store
for
and get
every
it at
platform.
GameStop?
No, I think that was digital. No, I understand what you're talking about packaged goods, but in a world where everyone's going towards... Was that an attempt at an onside, Krabs? What was that?
No, I just blew the kick.
Okay, I was confused. I was like, are you trying to be tricky?
Return this one.
No, I understand what you're saying about packaged goods. That industry, yeah.
Around with an exclamation point.
And a well-placed clean.
But I'm not like, won't someone think of EA? I don't have that thought in my mind. It's like, Their stock's at like record highs. They're the highest level of profitability ever. I'm not too worried about them. Like
That's the great thing about the video game industry is that people will call companies out on their shit. The loot boxes, on that crap, on the definitely like
killed my
added
next
gameplay to
quarterback,
encourage
dude.
spending loot boxes.
I don't even have who. Your homie Brisket just died. Come on. Who do I even put in at quarterback at this point?
Jump back up and tap X to fight back.
Oh, I can fight back now? Rot Tolkien.
Yeah, I feel with other industries that don't call other industries out on shit because we just kind of wave it off or whatever. Like, I use Justice League because Justice League is a terrible movie. Like, in my opinion, it's an awful movie. But their job isn't to make you like the movie. The job is to get you in the theater to pay to see it. And once you it's bad or good, and then have to eat the money that you gave them. Games, people actually get pissed if they purchase a game and come home and something's locked or can't access your TV paid for OSIF and that kind of crap, and people get really really quickly.
Apparently I stepped on a landmine.
Yep, I kind of got in your way, so you had to spin into it.
Well, there goes Steel Eye Manning.
Good. Steel Eye Maiming. And Brandon Martian. Hemtroll said he hasn't played Animal Crossing, but he does like Stardew Valley. He was arguing that was Game of the Year last year.
I mean, he also eats yogurt sauce on his pizza, so...
Oh, well, forget him.
I had my mouse break yesterday.
Oh no!
That's the last time you'd use T.Y. Hilbert, or whatever his name is.
I celebrated the touchdown by standing on a landmine. That's not smart. You shouldn't do that. I'm doing it for Shack News Goes Wrong.
2-point conversion attempt coming up to tie the score.
Spank Gore.
And that's a good by the number.
You called it.
How was everyone's Thanksgiving?
Pretty good.
No. It happened.
Made it out okay. How about you, Greg? I saw you had some issues with the oven.
Dude, my oven broke the day of Thanksgiving.
That sucks.
Terrible, and of course, like, they have the part at Home Depot. I needed to fix it, but Home Depot wasn't drive around. I think we ended up going an hour away to Target because they had hours that day. I hate going out on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Wait,
When on
how's
Thanksgiving,
Steel Eye
I think.
back?
Yeah, so, and then we found the part at Target and we fixed our trek and then another hour to install it, so we were like 3 hours behind cooking dinner. And my wife put potatoes in the oven, baked potatoes, on a plate or wrapped them in foil, so I woke up this morning of Thanksgiving, ran downstairs, see the whole house was filled with smoke.
Wait,
It's terrible.
that sounds like the worst ever, man.
Yeah, that's why I was like having a bad morning that whole afternoon, and morning was awful. Like she brushed olive oil on the potatoes, poked holes in them, sprinkled salt on them, and then just threw them in the oven. Like, Cole, you have to wrap them in foil and put them on a plate. She's like, well, I didn't know. So I wake up to smoke alarms going off. I think the house is on fire. I run
If we were
down
still
there
in the
and
50s, he could have
just
set her
the
straight.
Potatoes.
Oh man.
First and 10. You gotta stay focused on the field, Bricks. You can't lose your head in the heat of battle like he did.
What?
Just slows the game down.
What WTH is this grill?
Brain cells before that hit. They're gone now. He's gonna have the IQ of a rutabaga after that hit.
I don't know what grill.
Why am I under the view conference screen? Oh god, I have to log out.
Better be careful because
What?
when those guys die, it's forfeit city.
You should be watching this football.
I think I think Greg's watching. I'm not sure.
And it's first and 10.
People are lulling.
Why did I do that?
Did you run into yourself? Because I was...
No, I pressed the dive button while I was doing the wrong thing.
Oh, okay. What's Shaq News? What's
It's a magic
Shaq
land.
News?
It's everything.
It's...
It's like Zombo.com, but cooler.
Yeah, basically. Come on! This is Mutant League Football that we're playing. The show's called Happy Hour. Shaq News is a gaming news website that's been around for 21 years. You should go there. There's no space in the name. It's just all one word. And the N is not capitalized. Getting my butt kicked by Chris here. That's not really that surprising.
How is the game?
It's not bad.
I mean, it's like... We haven't had an NFL Blitz game in quite some time that was any good, at least.
If you had told me that I would have enjoyed a Unity Engine NFL Blitz Mutant League clone this much, I would never believe you.
Come on! Kill him.
I remember 3 years ago interviewing him at GDC, and all they had was a white table with a laptop on it, like, and didn't even have like a booth or like in this like weird area in the movie theater during GDC.
And it's 1st and 10. And he just nailed him right on the numbers for a touchdown. And then, my friend,
Have you seen that Loot Crate thing? Has really like it's gone global. That's really bad for EA and for Star Wars. Like that whole story is.
Oh no!
Star Wars is going to come out okay.
Oh no, won't someone think of Star Wars? I'm not gonna go see that movie on the 15th because of some Loot Crates.
hey, Britt's gonna go for 2 here.
I'm sorry, I don't think Star Wars is affected at all. I think Mr. Mouse was angry. He called up EA and was like, like,
Take the Loot Crates out of your game.
Like a spicy Mexican taco, I run right through you.
for real, dude, I'm getting my butt
The
kicked.
teams are lined up for the kickoff.
Yeah, that's what your player said to me.
Oh, for real?
He sets up for the
Yeah, I thought you were watching this stuff on the screen.
one wide open.
Oh no, I was looking at the chat for a second. Man. I'm having trouble getting up
I mean,
when you're
people are
kicking my
freaking out
ass.
about this NFL thing. If you're a sports guy, I guess the ratings are down 5.7% and everyone's panicking.
Oh no, 5.7%!
That's what I said. I'm like, really? They're freaking out about 5.7%? I think they're fine.
The kneeling.
Okay, this isn't right.
And
It was interesting having my dad over. The more older he gets, the more Republican he gets.
Wait,
Having
so
a
like,
conversation.
no, but about these NFL ratings, what percent of that is Browns related?
You ready for some
I-
fun, kids? Zombie ref season is now open.
All I know is that when it's Monday night and Austin's tweeting sad faces on Twitter, I know that his teams aren't doing well.
I mean, the Browns haven't won a game all season, but you would think that has something to do with the ratings.
Congrats, fellas. You've lived to fight another day. And now you can die in the second half, like the losers you are.
Yeah, I forgot how to play the mini game at the half.
Third quarter coming up. Bricks, this game has been a hot mess so far.
Do you have to kill the refs or avoid them?
After eating hot chicken wings, it's a hot mess on the exit ramp. If
I was
you
shooting
know
them.
what I mean.
He went to deletedlink.com.
Just
Well, don't go to
catch it, run it back, and don't
deletedlink.com.
die. Oh, with the brutal hit.
Or you're going to throw me onto the spike pit and then they would come up.
That's what I was hoping for, but nope.
And it's 1st and 10.
M-Troll. This guy is taking us very literally. He went to snacknews.com and was confused afterwards. I'm sorry, View Conference.
When it's your time to go, it's your
Hemtroll, why'd you lie to View Conference? View Conference is trying to learn.
2nd down and 6.
Hemtroll just can't get enough of my video game football streams.
Those aliens, do they send like...
That's the way to...
And he just killed him and the ref missed it.
Good.
That's not a surprise.
Oh, they kind of do.
Good riddance to Grieve and End Slam.
Press X to fight back. You're not fighting back.
Yeah, they tore my arms off.
No, I'm on the Insane Cults team.
And it's 1st and 10. I don't know if he even had a target on that.
I think the ball play, but the
What was everyone's take on the loot boxes, by the way? Like, are they, like, you guys consider them gambling?
No. They're dumb.
I don't consider playing roulette gambling.
Picking numbers. Whee!
Yeah, I don't think it's gambling.
I'm actually joining the stream from the Keno machine at my local gas station.
For real.
Chris, aren't you in Canada? You're in Canada, right?
Yes, I'm Canadian.
This is another
You,
hit.
are, is it North there now, or no? Is it still...
There's extra effort there.
Chris is a Canadian. You're thinking
I'm almost
Bill.
there.
You're thinking Bill.
I mean, I'm right there on the border.
You're on the southern border almost. He's far from Canada.
Do I sound Canadian?
Yeah. Oh man, that's pretty great.
And that is caught for a 1st down.
I don't know if there's anything wrong with being Canadian, but it's just kind of funny.
I know that Bill, like, I know Bill lives in Canada. I thought for some reason that...
You keep cutting out, Greg. You gotta put that mic deep.
I'm to talk, yo.
in front of it now.
Just push to talk.
Yeah, I know, he should do push to talk.
Requires effort.
Great pass block. That's just as good as a sack.
On that play, I declared that the bomb, or the ball would be a bomb.
That was the one play where I defended the pass well.
Yeah. That's why I threw into double coverage.
Barchevius Dingo, dead. Oh, poor guy. Former Cleveland Brown.
And that'll be
Cleveland Browns legend.
That's not a thing.
I'm actually surprised they were able to make this game. I mean, I thought football was licensed. I think the game football isn't licensed by the NFL, thank God.
Yeah, like, you know that New York is not a real city, right, Greg?
And we'll need a huge rally.
No, but I mean, it's still the game football, and I would not be effing surprised if NFL or EA bought the rights to the game itself.
No, they
The
can't.
game of football.
They can't do that.
3rd down and, well,
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you're right. You can't copyright a game like that, or like a genre. I remember the Fine Brothers tried to copyright reaction videos, and it's like, no, you can't do that.
quarterback pass
He's just
for a
wide
touchdown.
open. Terrible. I think this is all because I don't have the Cleveland Burns.
And these guys think kicking is for pussy's bricks. They're going for 2.
Yeah, they got big balls,
Oh my
Greg.
God, it's 8-33. That's just bad.
Touchdown!
Yeah.
But for every touchdown he scores,
It's a basketball game at this
he
point.
donates $1,000 to a local
No,
Oh, now
it's,
35-8.
there's football scores that are this bad, especially involving the Browns.
The home team is feeling confident as they
Gotta
get the
stay behind your
kickoff in the
team.
air.
Scoring makes
No matter
anyone
what.
confident.
It
I
certainly
guess.
does, Bricks.
This is usually the time of year where I find another team to watch because my team sucks.
Well, what team are you watching?
I'm kind of paying attention to the New Orleans Saints. I like that team.
And it's 1st and 10.
I like the Vikings. I think they're pretty good.
Even though he's a big
Just threw it right at you.
He's still got his hands up for the deflection.
In the AFC, it's kind of hard to find a team to like because like all the ones that are doing well, I kind of hate. Like the Steelers are doing well, Patriots are doing well.
2nd down and 10.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the defense jumps offside.
Ha!
Inflicts some brutality on the offense.
Jumps off sides and starts kicking the crap out of my quarterback. Like that's a thing.
Who do you think will make it to the Super Bowl this year?
The Atlanta Braves.
Second down and 5.
I don't know.
And that's a warp speed dirty trick. And that'll be a first down.
You like my warp
Bricks,
speed?
A lot of people have gotten pass happy in this league. Nice to see
I
some
did.
old school mono
It's
a mono
freezing
on the
in my
turf.
house. It's freezing.
It's California.
Yeah, it's
freezing.
the winter now, Greg.
Oh no, we don't see. This is new to me. Being in California, we don't do winter.
Yeah.
It's like a brisk 50 degrees out.
First down.
Pretty cold.
It was no, and you can bury that guy because he is dead.
Oh, did you see what number he was?
Isn't it like -2 where Osip is right now?
No, it's not that bad. It was in the 50s during the day. It's gonna get into like the 30s at night.
The offense needs to run out of bounds or take a
It's not too
timeout
bad.
to stop the clock. Oh, and he might have just
No
saved the
ginormous Stankins. No more. This game is worth the money just because of the names. And the witty
The offense
banter.
goes into a hurry up to pick up the pace of the game. Oh, and did he just put on a display there? Touchdown! It's not that big men can't dance, it's that they shouldn't. And you're looking at the reason why.
Good lord, I haven't checked the GHT site until today.
The
Dude, we had
offense is
so
losing
many.
quarterbacks faster
You're
than
cutting
Like-
out again, Greg.
to spring break. They're down to their last QB before they have to forfeit.
I haven't checked the GHTV site in so long, since Thursday. I checked it today, and we had so many comments, like more than we usually do. They're all in that Kevin Spacey interview we did like 4 or 5 years ago.
You can
Yep.
tell he's a berserker because he's frothing at the mouth.
Oh, that guy?
No one was going to stop him. That's 2 points.
Quit killing my quarterbacks.
I wasted one of my bribes on that. That's like your 5th quarterback.
It's time for
Looks like they're
onside
lined up
kicks.
For an onside kick. That's a bad kick, and it's going to cost them some yards.
Penalty. Do I have to kick again?
You kick a ball out of bounds, it takes to the 40.
Onside kick's the desperation play.
Or in this game, they just let you do it again.
Possession.
Stealing it right, Ben. It just ain't right.
And it's 1st and 10. And the runner is moving straight. Oh, he did not.
Well, that was going real well until I hit that bump.
Oh, you knew you were going to see a lot of carnage today, folks. These teams have bad blood between them. Apparently, they got it from the same bloodmobile that usually parks outside next to the
I'm still in this.
Raccoon rabies blood is my thought. Oh,
Can't believe how good the ping and all that stuff is.
Yeah, it hasn't been bad at all.
and it's 1st and 10. Devastating hit knocks the ball loose.
Come on.
One time, when I was playing, a guy hit me so hard, I went into a duck.
I don't remember that being an officially sanctioned.
Stuff right there,
kick
arcade
rule.
corner today. Ah,
Which one are you
Just took a
doing?
10-yard penalty for daydreaming.
Wait, I still have the ball?
And it's 1st and
Yeah, they called a penalty on me.
Awesome.
He picks up 8 yards on that pass.
For 12 seconds.
Down and 2. And the bomb goes off, hurting no one.
I was just trying to kill you.
Does it still make a sound?
3rd and 2. gets another
That's
pick.
3 picks for him this game.
Oh, he just got crushed.
Somebody kill him.
Another bullshit penalty. How long are these guys going to take this?
It's in your penalty because of my political post on Facebook. The interception doesn't count.
Gotta love this game.
And it's 1st and 10.
Okay.
That's the way to move the chains. That's good for a 1st down.
How's that not a touchdown?
Yeah, some arcade machines are really hard to find on the internet.
They come up big today with a solid win.
Even emulators for him?
Licking their wounds on the long
The emulators are easy to find, but it's the, like, I'm actually looking for a physical Ninja Baseball Batman arcade machine, and I can't find, like, a good picture of one anywhere.
Until you're not happy.
I don't like how my name in this game is only the man with the ...
Could be a lot to read into that.
It's like,
The
you
man
know.
with the ...
You had 5 quarterbacks took a snap today. Your best was Rot Tolkien.
Is that guy even in the league? Is that Scott Tolzien?
He is the 3rd string Scott Tolzien. Andrew Upchuck was murdered on the first play.
And then, yeah, you killed Brisket.
Homie Brisket.
I don't even know who Silver Moon is. They're just making up people at this point. Yeah, Rob Tolkien was probably my best guy. I guess we'll have to do this. Let's do a rematch. Do I create a private match?
Did you lose already, man? That was so quick.
I did lose.
That was a full game, Greg.
I'm gonna be a different
20
team.
minutes. 20 minutes.
I'll be the Carolina Panzers. I didn't say I was good at games, Greg. Do you want me to play your Battlefront Starfighter Assault video for everybody? I'll do it.
Haven't you realized that we're supposed to be good at all the games since we're gaming journalists?
Greg, how are you not awesome at the game that you had never played before?
People don't understand context. They just don't. You're like, hey, here's this game that doesn't come out for 2 weeks. Oh, you're terrible at it. Yeah, because I literally just picked it up and shown you the first hour of what I'm doing.
But also, you're just not very good at flying.
I'm not a scrub like that.
Yeah. If we sent you to Northern
most
California,
games you can kind of just pick up and go crazy with, but Battlefront definitely has more of a learning curve than others.
and then you have to get the money hats ready.
No, not really. Kinda flat
Need to buy
line
more
right now in
loot
the
crates.
box department. Hey, can you help me get this pencil out of my ear? It's stuck worse than it was the last time.
The problem with that game is that the loot crates really do give you a huge advantage. Like, I mean, I was playing it heavy a few days ago, and I was like shooting the hell out of this guy running toward me, and I didn't kill him. He just meleeed me to death because he had a card that gave him bonus health, and it was like the epic version, so he had so much health that I couldn't kill him before he got to me. I was like, oh, this is fun.
That doesn't sound fun.
No, it's not. I was being so.
Oh.
Don't you just love the sound
I like
of
that.
bones
Heaven
snapping
Fun
and
Chest.
cracking? I mean, when they're not
Don't kill
yellow.
him. He's my best player. So yeah, that.
Okay, so in this game, Chris, can you kill his entire team and he'll just lose?
It's possible to get to the point where you can take out enough skill players they can't run certain plays.
That's cool. That's some meta right. That's some meta right there.
Yeah.
It's also cool because, like, if you suck at the actual game, you could be good at fighting and still come out okay. That's also just fun because, like, you're talking about, oh, does EA own football? They don't own, like, the ability to kick the crap out of someone after the, you know, like during the game or after the play.
And these guys are marching down the field unopposed. Man, the defense looks clueless out there.
I see you trying to kill Cam Newton already.
changes the pace by
Sorry,
going into
Wham
a hurry.
Neutron.
Does that mean the defense gets into a hurry up too?
Did I kill him? Caught for the first down. And it's 1st and 10.
How's Lola? She needs a shave. She's all derpy and
Calls an audible.
Yeah,
got a lot of fur.
she gets a haircut next week, I think.
She's so cute when she gets a haircut. Nicole dies every single time you show her on Twitter.
Everybody does. It's like 90% of my social media engagements keep pictures of dogs. Yeah, I'm
But
going
you're
to.
not tagging Shaq pets though when you post it on Twitter.
Who has time for that? What did I do? I just called a play without. Oh no, that's terrible. What?
No, if you call one play in the hurry up, it stays in that formation unless you audible up.
That's the second time I've done that. I get so excited when I score a touchdown, I run on top of a landmine. Oh man, that's terrible.
Are we gonna? We have to do the Shaq battle thing for E3 next. Lola and the Nessie.
Yeah, I mean we got time, dude. E3's not for. Don't make me think about E3 already. It's like next year. We got Game of the Year to worry about.
Yeah, what's good to go to? It's either Mario or Zelda, right? Those are the two.
I don't know. Seems like PUBG's gonna be in the mix if it's out. I'm leaving the voting until I don't know, probably like the second week of December. So PUBG should be out by then, right?
You know, that's really what counts at the end of the day, right?
It'll be out within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. So.
You can't artificially keep it off the list. Deal with it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hide it. It deserves to be considered. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what will win, Greg. I think my game of the year probably is Zelda. Although I really do like Mario also. It's very good. But to me, Zelda's the game that's like the most. I don't know. I probably played the most this year. I want to play more of. I think I'll be playing it longer than most of the other games that came out this year. But it's also personal preference. Like I just don't. Yeah, I beat Zelda. I beat it on the flight back from Tokyo Game Show. Yeah, and I had like an audible scream of excitement when I did it. Everyone looked at me like I was a weirdo. So,
But you are.
well, yeah, but I'm like, yeah! And they're like, it's like, I don't know what time. It was one of those, those flights are like 12 hours long or some shit. Yeah, it was funny.
Second down and 10.
So yeah, I beat it. I haven't beat Mario yet. Have you been playing Mario, Greg?
No, I haven't been playing Mario. I was hosting the thing. Started technically on Monday because family was over, so I've been juggling both all last week. I haven't had time to play anything. But I'm doing the top 10 Nintendo Switch games of 2017 this week, though. That should be ready by Friday.
Is Mario on there?
Second down in a very line.
Everything but Doom VR, but Doom is on there, so...
No Doom?
I'm kidding. You read the list. You know what's on it.
Oh, that's right. I have to act like I don't know.
No, but it'll be like if it's up to awesome Doom on Switch would be Game of the Year again.
No.
But it's Doom on Switch.
Yeah, that doesn't make it Game of the Year. It's not even in consideration. I think Chris would quit if it did that. He'd be like, you're gonna have that low res, low FPS monstrosity of a game.
Which game is that?
Doom on Switch.
Yeah, frame rate's better than the one in Zelda.
Oh, come on.
For me, I think PUBG's just the popular jock game right now that everybody's playing. It's like Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare back in the day. Like I don't remember Modern Warfare 2 getting Game of the Year. Always like some other innovative game that, like for design, from a design standpoint, you know.
What about PUBG makes you think it's the jock game?
Yeah, you're wrong about
Oh,
that.
that has like 20 million active.
Just because people
So because
play
people
it,
like it, it's for stupid jocks?
that makes no sense. I understand why
People
it's
like
popular.
Mario. Is that a jock game?
No, it's like what I'm saying is like the flavor of the year. Like it's it's PUBG. Everything's a PUBG clone. No, Fortnite's a PUBG clone. This is a PUBG clone. Like everyone's just comparing it to other battle royale games that have been out even before PUBG and claiming it's a clone of PUBG. H1Z1, oh, it's just a PUBG clone. When it was out before PUBG, no, PUBG's better.
I haven't heard anybody say that.
I just think that we've moved on from first-person shooters like Call of Duty dominating console and PC market to, or what are they called? Battle Royale is the next thing now. Is like now replacing that.
I think you're wrong. I think that PUBG,
That makes the argument mean that the first Call of Duty that got popular didn't get popular on its own merit.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
First down. He hit that line the way it rolled up down the
Well, right now it's fourth on Twitch. I mean, you can pretty much say that like a game's popularity is based on which game's stage, right? Like how popular it is among watching people, or
No. I would
No.
say concurrent users
It
on
was number
Steam-
one on Twitch for almost 3 weeks before the game was officially released to everybody on Steam when it was still locked into the early alphas.
Yeah, I would say that the concurrent user...
It's also one of the more watchable games, just in the way it's set up.
Yeah, I enjoy
It's
watching
part of the
it.
reason for the popularity.
I enjoy watching it more than I do playing it. I'll be honest with you. I was never
No, I
really...
understand.
I was never really into Arma. I was never really into those types of games. So, but I enjoy watching them, and I understand why it's popular. I mean, the simple premise of when you go in solo in PUBG, I actually like the 1 versus 99 other people. The idea of a chicken dinner is good. Like there's a lot in there that's innovative. And I know that the Battle Royale mod had some of it, but this is the first time you've been able to play
That was literally the Battle Royale mod.
Mm-hmm.
There was no squad play in the original Arma 2 one. Or not initially.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, I liked that. The genesis of what PUBG became. I think it's a good idea. It's
Well,
original.
that's still in PUBG now.
Exactly. I mean, it's the evolution of what he thought of with the Arma platform, and now it's like we're seeing the vision of that game. It's not even out yet, but I think it's a good concept. And I think it's a different concept. It's not. There's no reason that you can just be like, oh, jocks like that. Because I look at my friends list who play PUBG, and it's all sorts of gamers that have gotten into it. And there's people who play it. How I know it's a great game is kind of just based on how people play it. Like, I've seen some of my friends that play it, like, really violently. They drop in, they want to be surrounded by people, and then there's other people like me that want to be on the edge fringe of the level, hiding from people until the very end, which tends to be a little bit more like me or Mad
The
Dog.
appeal of the game is not really based on the gunplay or how the thing is designed or how it works. It's that they distilled the old DayZ mod and Breaking Point stuff down to the essence of where you create situations where you feel like intensely just white knuckle type deal, and the permadeath in each of the match builds to that. And the game is able to give you that situation multiple times over the course, like maybe 2 or 3 times an hour. And it, distills it down into bite-sized bits, which is the reason it's taken off when those other ones didn't, because it's the same thing. It's just this particular version has come up with a way to distill that thing and give it to you in quick, easy to digest bites.
Lucci Dober, it's not that I like watching an entire round of PUBG. That's not the case. But on Shaq, we have these people that they post highlights of their matches. And there's really funny things that happen in that game. The emergent gameplay, just these moments that happen because of the blue zone that are just funny or entertaining. Or just stupid ways to die, funny places where the blue zone ends up being. I don't know, I just think it's definitely entertaining to watch. But yeah, it's not a whole match. I don't want to sit there and watch a whole match, no. But it just, that goes to part of it. Like, this started because the fans were sharing the information about it. It wasn't like PUBG didn't have some $20 million ad campaign. That's kind of why I like it. That's why I'm I find them easy to root for. Even if it's not, like I said, it's not my favorite game to come out this year, but I think it's still pretty good.
No, it's similar. It reminds me a lot of the Minecraft movement when that first released. Remember that movement? It was insane.
Still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind
it
of...
changed the
guy
way
in the game.
things went.
I think that's a fair comparison, because they were both kind of indies that became huge. And I'm sure that someone's going to try to buy PUBG Corp eventually.
Well, they'll sell it for sure. I mean, it'd be dumb not to. You know, if Microsoft or Sony came up and said we want to buy PUBG from you, like, why would you say no to money, right? A business transaction.
Well, they're already publicly traded in Korea. Or, sorry, they're a privately held company in Korea. So if they go public, they'll go public in Korea. But they already did this, like, subsidiary for PUBG called PUBG Corp. It wouldn't surprise me if they just, like, Bluehole just sells off PUBG to somebody. The game reminds me of, like, I don't know, there's a lot of shooters that had that same... When they became popular, they were the biggest thing ever, you know?
It is.
I'm on fire!
I know that some games are just, well, like, I'm not saying this is that type of game. So some games, I saw this with Sony Online Entertainment back in the day. They had, like, a third-party Korean developer, like, making a bunch of MMOs, and just, they were throwing, like, a ton of stuff at the walls just to see what would catch on. I feel that spend more time on a game and actually focus on making a good game than trying to make something that's popular. Maybe from my perspective, since I don't know a lot about PUBG. I knew they were an indie dev. I knew that, but to me, from the outside, like I said, I'll have to look into this more. I felt that it was just like a DayZ advanced Dawn of the Dead, and then they copied H1Z1, and all this shit went down. And I just started seeing Battle Royale games everywhere, and I just knew that, like, PUBG was the Overwatch of Battle Royale games.
So the guy that made the original mod for Arma had never made anything before, and the Arma scripting stuff is a little bit easier to pick up to do mods. But there's a lot of things he wanted to do with it, it was not possible with that engine. And the Sony people, or whoever it was that did PlanetSide 2, wanted to have a version of their thing, and they brought him in as a consultant. And after a couple months of that, he decided he wanted to go do like what he wanted to do without the limitations from the Arma deal. And that's when the PUBG became what it is. It's the original guy from the original, you know. It wasn't a cash-in or whatever.
Yeah. They just said, hey, we like this, let's do it. I don't know, I like it. It's a good story. It's definitely one of the biggest stories.
I mean, it's a mod for DayZ. Like, it's definitely based off of that. It's, like I said, it distills my favorite parts of the original DayZ mod into something that you can experience a couple times an hour rather than maybe one time every 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah, but for
Just
me,
moments of sheer tension.
I remember back in the day when DayZ was skyrocketing in popularity, the about that game was the player interaction. Was like you met with somebody and you had the near voice chats that could hear as you got closer, and you weren't sure if they were gonna be friendly or if they were gonna kill you and take your stuff, and like that was the psychology of that game got really interesting. But in PUBG, you're just killing everybody, so that's gone, right?
Yeah, it's the more player versus player aspect of it, but there's different parts of it that still remain. That, I mean, I don't think it's the best game ever, but the reason that me and my group of people that have played the old DayZ mod and the Breaking Point mods and stuff up until this came out, we initially got into it because of the similarities to the parts of the DayZ mod combat we like, because none of us like DayZ the game as it is now, or, you know, what it officially released as. And, like I said, you know, once they made it where it was easily accessible to people, where they didn't have to buy a separate game, do lots of complicated modding and installing just to get into a server, because the DayZ mod itself was pretty hardcore. And it gives you snippets of that and the good parts. You know, like I said, it's easy to digest, easy to get into, easy to, you know, you don't have to commit 6, 7, 8 hours like you would with the mod for one round or one session or whatever. And it's, you know, it's like the junk food version of the idea.
Only 2 running backs remain on the roster.
Lawbreakers has 19 viewers on Twitch. I think
That's more than the people playing it right now. I downloaded Lawbreakers a couple days ago.
I miss the DayZ mod.
still play it or no?
Not like it was, no. It's been dead for
I
years. Well, there's some
PUBG
resurrection mods that you can kind of play that are similar, but they've had so much stuff added to them by communities that it's tough to find the pure deal.
That's
And
what
they
I'm saying,
shut
though,
down
remember-
these servers, back in 2012 or whatever, when they announced they were going to go standalone.
See, that's what I was talking about. Though, like the interesting thing about the DayZ mod was your interaction with other players. But I feel that when you take that away, all it is a death.
I mean, to a certain extent. But, in the original one, it's different because if you had killed a player before, you got designated with the bandit skin and people could see you coming. It wasn't like, oh, what's this guy going to do,
Wait, what?
But, as the game was updated and stuff,
Wait,
the main
what?
game changed.
How did that happen?
Because you're a loser.
I can't believe that shit.
Oh, you
I-
lost again, Austin, just like the good old Cleveland Browns.
I
Like
know.
the DayZ as it is now is just a
like
simulator where
this.
people walk around and collect stuff and then, talk with other players, but I don't find any of that fun.
Not like
See,
this.
that's what it was. And then I remember
Not
when
like
DayZ
this.
started to skyrocket, a lot of people tried to copy it, and it just like. But now they've completely abandoned that. Like, remember? Like, I think it's.
That's
say
bullshit.
bad things about it on the stream, but just the H1Z1, I think it's hilarious that it's a game called H1Z1. And
What
it
was
supposed
that
to have
through?
zombies, and now it's just battle royale. It's just battle royale. That's all.
It does
is now,
still
battle
have the
royale.
other mode, they just split it in half.
I was
Yeah,
trying to
that's where it is when they go
hurdle.
one
We
way or
can
the
make,
other.
because like that's what DayZ was, and they just modded it into PUBG. So like, oh, we'll just take our game and turn it into. It's like they need to just abandon it and call it something else. No one plays H1Z1.
Well,
they just play battle
they
royale.
did. They split it into 2 games and gave them different names.
But it's still called H1Z1 King of the Kill. Just don't even call it H1Z1. It doesn't make any sense because there's no zombies in it. So just
Well, fair
call it a
enough.
completely different. Market it as a separate game. Don't try to
That's
find
shenanigans.
like an H1Z.
I
I'm trying to think of the battle royale games I've seen. I've seen people play. People still play. There's still those hardcore DayZ people play. And then there was that terrible game that came out that was supposed to be like the official DayZ game. What was it? Was it called DayZ? There was an official game. It wasn't the mod. It was an
Yes,
official game.
it's
and I saw it a few
DayZ
years ago.
standalone. It's still in early access, the original mod
Yeah.
developer. He
Everyone
sold it
hated
out
it.
to the publisher.
And everyone hated it. But like then that paved way for other similar games that had a similar feel to DayZ. So like I remember Rust skyrocketed in popularity shortly after DayZ was getting popular.
Well, that was way before they went standalone with DayZ.
So like that survival. I mean, like there are just like in anything else, there are patterns in games.
The only real knockoff I remember was the War Z, and they had to change their name a few times legally to get away from ripping off players. Now it's called Infestation Survivor Story or
Oh,
something.
World War Z. That was the one. That was the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Called Infestation.
The
There are
one me and my
patterns in
friends
gaming.
jumped to was an Arma 3 mod called Breaking Point, which was very, very similar to the original mod.
Wait.
It was just, on the updated engine.
Chris, can I simulate a season and still
I'm
unlock?
not sure. I haven't played season mode. I've only played single player.
I feel like
Or just exhibition.
I feel like I'm gonna have to play this because I want to play as my team. I don't know what Greg's talking about. And Lucci, I don't know what sales numbers you're talking about.
Greg, we need to play PUBG. Staff play. Get Charles in.
I've
Who else?
never played it.
You never played it and you've been dogging it. Come on, man. You gotta come play.
How have you not played
I
it
have
yet?
to dog it because that's what I do. You take the one that's most popular. Like I'm like the hipster guy when it comes to gaming, right?
It's so-
So, but back to my question. You don't think that it could have gotten popular on the merits of it being a good game?
Word of mouth. But the problem is, see, the thing is, here's why my thing is skewed on it. Because once that came out, because I've heard of DayZ, and then once PUBG started gaining popularity and everyone started, I started noticing it was being super popular and everyone bitched that it was going to be exclusively on Xbox, and I just heard all the babies whining about it only being on Xbox. And then like,
That was
And
months after it came out.
right, and then I'm looking left and right, I'm seeing games like H1Z1 Battle Royale and Fortnite Battle Royale and all these other like PUBG ripoffs. And I'm like, Jesus, what is going on? Like it's Minecraft all
That's
over
because
again.
they sold 10 million copies and money attracts copy.
Haven't they sold like 20 million?
It sounds
That
like
was
you're
20 million
ragging the
for
game
the
because
number, yeah.
people copied the success.
Well, that's right, Bricks. All the players hope that they
Lucci, I don't have that data yet. I won't know until the end of next month. He was asking about my album sales.
And it's 1st and 10.
When's
yeah,
it getting pressed to wax?
I don't know. That would be cool.
You should get on Pledge Music.
Play that was, Bricks. Kind of like your Aunt Bertha. This
What's pledge music?
It's like Kickstarter for music artists.
Oh, that's cool.
Pledged a few times,
pretty cool.
but been burned a couple times, so I don't know. Are you the kind of person that would burn me?
I don't know.
If I
does
paid
take
the
him 5 years to get that
$55 to get a
album out,
locket of your
so-
hair in a Ziploc bag, would you actually ship it when the thing closed, or would you take the money and run?
I don't know. I've done some. I've sent signed pictures of my dog to people across the world.
Mhm.
I haven't done any of my hair for sale yet.
Well, I'm going to send you a link to something incredibly important that the Pledge folks sent to me this morning. You see if it's still up. Yep, it's still up. Nobody has bought this Kickstarter backing tier yet.
Okay.
So this guy is trying to crowdfund his new album, and if you pay this amount, he will come to your house and play a concert for you and your friends in your house.
Really? That sounds like a good stretch goal. Start a tour that way.
Yeah.
Here's the other reason why I'm just hesitant about the game too. Because, like, reviews for it on the Steam page are completely mixed. Like, I don't understand
look
how you
at
could
Steam
spend 1,100
reviews?
hours on a game and then
Who
say you
reads
hate it.
Steam
Doesn't make any
reviews?
sense to me.
You
Well, it's
work in a
Steam
gaming news
reviews
site.
for an early access game that is notorious for having severe performance issues. Like, it has its. I'm not saying it's perfect. It has a lot of problems.
It
but,
does have a lot of problems.
But it has the moments that are just like I would say it has higher highs and lower lows.
Yeah.
But chasing that higher high is the I mean,
Yeah.
you don't sell this many copies of a game based on a couple good people talking about it being good or Twitch hype. Like the people that bought it have stayed with it. The people that are playing stay with it. It's not like they tried and then I mean a few do, but the concurrent player base continues to rise at an insane rate above what Dota saw or any other game.
But what scares me a little bit too about the game is that they click on the library and Steam is not appropriate for all ages, and the people who play this are kids. Majority of them are
Who
kids.
gives a shit?
What kind of argument is this?
Won't someone think of the children? The crabs! Won't you think of the
I
children?
don't like that a lot of the
crabs?
grass in the map is yellow. I don't get it. I'm just messing, man. But I would love for you to join us in a round.
You should play with us. I'll play with Greg.
I've played lots of this game, and I've never encountered anybody I've heard through the thing that sounded like they were under the age of 18.
But the children, dudes.
It's
Who cares
possible
about
children
the
to play the game, but it's especially in the beginning, it tilted towards the older crowd.
kids? What did I get for the Steam and Cleaver's name? It's Sorry, we got some people laughing at Greg reading Steam reviews. It's the Leveland Burns. I know. Everyone's disappointed. Hemtroll had pointed out that the language in this game doesn't seem to match with the kind of game that would not go with the name Steam and Cleavers.
Still working on my salami here, Bricks.
That's what she said. Didn't work that time.
I know, Captain Coolout. I'm sorry. I tried.
Wait, so is Bluehole the publisher or the developer?
No, Bluehole is a Korean developer who had made some MMOs and other stuff, and they were the ones that partnered with the guy who had the concept and stuff to do the work. Because obviously he couldn't do all the art and stuff himself, but he's the overseer of the project.
Yeah, he moved to Korea.
And I mean, the game is pretty much the Battle Royale mod for DayZ as it was, just with a lot of the limitations and things that you couldn't do smoothly within the ARM engine scripting language.
Yeah, it's running on Unreal, right?
Yeah, and they've been using Unreal Engine in-house for their other projects before they partnered up with the PlayerUnknown. So they're able to, like, from the time that they started on the project until they had something that they put out in their own internal early access before it actually went on Steam, was something like 7 or 8 months. And then 2 months after that, they went on Steam early access, either back in February or March of this year. But they had a completely separate early access, like pre-alpha campaign for early backers that had been playing for months before it hit Steam early access and exploded.
Oh, sure, now he catches it. I had this guy on my fantasy team last week. I lost so much money on him.
So I have to win the season too? I don't just have to, like, play it?
Collecting my money on time, Grim.
I mean, it's possible. I didn't really read the terms and conditions of you unlocking those teams.
I didn't either. But I figured we didn't really have enough time to do another game. So
I'm just curious because, like I said, other than it's everywhere that I turn and look and read about. So, like, Chris, what is it about the game that makes it fun and interesting?
That thing I explained before, where it takes an experience that adds. It's not chicken dinner. It's the tension in the different moments. Like, there's times where it's winding down towards the end. You're not really sure where other people are, but you also think you're about to get the win, and it's hard to explain until you play it, but it's a game that can cause legitimate sweat in my palms. It can make my knuckles white and get my heart rate going.
It's that blue zone, the chicken dinner, those last few moments of the game. It's exciting, man. That game's fun. It's being better than 99 people.
Like, so in the original DayZ mod, the permadeath was a lot of times you have to spend 3 and 4 hours to get fully geared up, and you could lose it all. Like, it was, encountering anybody doing anything, you had to be very measured with the stuff you did because you lose a lot of time and effort. And when I saw the videos for this before I even got into it, I was worried that having it done into smaller rounds, even though I'd played the Battle Royale mod before, I never thought that it would catch on that big because I didn't think that you could buy in as much in a shorter, 30, 40-minute session like you could with a player you've invested hours into. But the way the game is set up, the way the wall pushes in and stuff, it just builds tension. And it's, hard for any type of game to really do that for me. It's one of the reasons I stick with it, even though I have lots of issues with the way the mechanics work, or, some of the stuff with the guns, just all sorts of things. But I mean, I pay any amount of money for that feeling.
I just returned a touchdown, and it got called back because of a freaking penalty. It's the worst.
Shaq News community legend Hemtroll explains the game better than I could.
Yeah, he says, PUBG is like talking to a girl in real life, but it's a game. That's a pretty solid... There's your one-sentence review by Hemtroll.
Brought to you by Hemtroll.
Instead of going home and crying about it on Shaq News, at the end of the round, you can jump back off the plane and try to creep out another girl. It's a never-ending cycle. And then they added the ability to run with squads, so that didn't have to be 1 versus 100.
Yeah.
And you have your teammates there. And the game plays completely differently. And then later on, from player feedback, they introduced the first-person mode, which makes the game way, way better, in my opinion, as it forces different types of player-to-player interactions, and there was less camping and players hiding behind structures and, waiting out people. It just changed the way the game played.
So
they got a new map that's about to come out.
Is optional or it's not optional?
No, you pick how you want to play when you start. They have singles, which is you go in every man for himself. Duos with teams of 2, or casual, or not casual, but squad with teams of 4. You choose first-person perspective or third-person perspective. And then there's also custom game modes, which is currently locked to certain people, like big streamers or influencers that can completely customize how they want the game to go, whether it's got the circle, whether it doesn't. Basically build whatever you want to do on top of the platform. I mean, it's not locked into one certain way, and there's certain people that only play one way or another, like any game that has options like that. It's like with old first-person shooters, there's some people that only play capture the flag, some people that only play team deathmatch, things like that.
Yeah, see, I'm not saying the game's terrible, I'm just saying...
You're saying you don't want to play it because it's popular. That's what you're
holy
saying.
Crap, what's going on? And then you just naturally, hipster, start disliking it because you see it.
So you just dislike it because it's popular.
It's basically, yeah. I mean, I can be straightforward about it.
That's fair enough. I respect that.
To do, yeah.
I don't. That's a dumb reason not to like something.
No, I agree. It is, but I just can't help but that's. Oh, okay. It's like.
I don't mind at all. I can appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, I mean, I was the same way with Star Wars. Star Wars got super popular and I stopped liking it. So.
Wait, you originally liked it and then chose not to like it based on what other people thought?
That's what I'm saying. That's dumb.
That sounds like something a Tool would say.
I'm sorry!
I was with you, Greg, until that. I think Star Wars
blenders,
is terrible.
That's the line I draw.
I don't like Star Wars, but your reasoning for not liking it makes no sense.
There you go.
Because it's not special anymore? How about, that's a good reason. When you're, parading it around like a whore, that's pretty much, yeah, that's...
I bet playing with yourself doesn't feel as special as it did the first time, but you still do that.
Oh man, it's not. I mean, like, did we need a Star Wars handheld lightsaber blender? No. Did we need a Star Wars Roomba? No. Like, they're.
Holy shit.
I mean, have you gone to a toy store, dude? They're pouring it out.
No, I
It's
don't
like,
go to a toy
stop.
store because I'm an adult.
I have a Darth
Stop.
Vader toaster.
Please, God, stop.
I have a
It's
Darth
so
Vader
incredibly
toaster. You want me to break
like,
it out?
The shitty products that they release out with the Star Wars brand, just in my
When you
opinion,
toast stuff
completely
with it, it puts the Star Wars logo on there.
I can find it. The stuff is just ridiculous.
So if the next Star Wars movie bombs and everybody bails out, will you go back to enjoying the old ones?
I'll go back to enjoying the old ones when they calm the fuck down and they stop, like, literally just making shitty merchandise. I mean, and I understand shitty merchandise. I get it. I get merchandising. But, like, there's a line that's crossed where you're literally doing it too aggressively and making too much of it, and you're just like, stop. Like, stop.
But Greg, they hoard the toys out really hard when the original movies came out too.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have any toys. That was a big problem.
Yeah, they did. I had lots of Ewok plastic toys.
The Luke Skywalker
and,
toy.
I had a Return of the Jedi lunchbox.
No, I'm talking about the first movie, the first movie to Empire. They didn't expect to have it be successful.
So you quit liking it between when the original and Empire came out? Or
Before
after
you
Empire?
were born?
It was during Empire. I think is when the toys.
Dude, how old are you?
But like even then, like I'm fine. Hey, dude, I'm cool with action figures. Action figures are great. I'm fine with like little plastic lightsabers. That's fine. But like the stuff, like, cause the resurgence from a marketing side when they did the 99 ones, the prequels, like they had lightsabers, they had toys. You know, they had some video games, most of them bad. But like. I didn't see Star Wars blenders, Star Wars Roombas, Star Wars soccer balls. You know, like they're going batshit crazy with it. They need to calm the fuck down. My whole point. They just need to calm the fuck down because they're releasing so much shit. Like I'd rather have less of a good thing and more of a shitty thing. They're plastering on everything. And
I think that you should write up a column with your thoughts. We want to call it Greg's Hot Take. I would like to have that on the site.
No.
I mean,
no.
when the 99 movies came out, we didn't have a Star Wars game called Loop and Chewie with stormtroopers running away from a giant cartoon Chewbacca. It's just.
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, that sounds pretty great. I'd
shit.
pre-order that right
I
now.
remember the pod racing game that came out for the tie-in.
And we were
I
coming.
really enjoyed the Star Wars games that came out before they did the prequels, though, like the.
Dash Rendar.
I really like Dark Forces
Jedi
and Dark
Academy,
Forces 2, Jedi Knight.
What about Shadows of the
Jedi,
Empire?
it was good. Those were good too. Dark Forces was awesome. I remember
TIE
playing that.
Fighter was nice. That was the first game I ever played with a joystick.
And I'm enjoying Battlefront. Battlefront 2, aside from the loot boxes, is super fun. Like it's a good game.
Yeah,
That's-
But how could you like it but it's been overdone?
I don't know, because the first.
Yeah, aren't
Battlefront
you
really
contributing?
sucked.
Aren't you contributing to the problem, Greg, by liking that game? Shouldn't your hipster mentality tell you not to play that game because Star Wars?
No, I had to play it because I had to review it.
That's true. But now that you're done, you're still playing.
I was there when I saw Asif hold the gun to his head to tell him to review it because nobody else wanted to.
I was like, I'll do it. But I think it gives me an advantage to reviewing it because since I don't currently like the way the franchise is being handled, I'm at a neutral standpoint rather than saying, oh my god, Star Wars is the best thing ever, 10 out of 10. Which actually a lot of people didn't do, so I'm really happy about that for Battlefront 2 because Loot Crate shit was unacceptable. But going back to the Star Wars argument, they're just being a little too aggressive with the marketing and the merchandising, and I feel like it's pandering to my fandom of Star Wars, and I don't really. Maybe it's hard to explain, but
Did you see Justice League?
no, I didn't.
And this is a first and long situation.
Yeah, me neither.
I'll just pass on that. It's more of the same stuff.
This guy's gonna get
I hit him right on the hands.
after the game.
Is there a
Are
catch
you
button?
upset about The Simpsons too?
Brings us to the end of the third quarter. They'll need to
Happened to
fire
The
on all
Simpsons.
cylinders to make a comeback in the final quarter.
Wait, what?
Finally,
Second down and a lot.
I'm just asking if you were upset about The Simpsons as you are Star Wars because they also licensed out their IP for merchandise.
I don't think I ever saw Simpsons or
What?
Simpsons Roomba.
Where's the Star Wars Roomba?
Or Simpsons branded tangerine oranges. Like, I don't think I ever saw that. Like, dude, if you look around at the merchandise, it really is getting really ridiculous.
It's
Like, they just
Disney.
need to
What do you
calm
expect?
down.
Were you alive in the 90s, Greg? They had Simpsons merchandise.
Just gotta scrape off the charred parts.
I'm gonna look right now if there was a Simpsons.
Oh boy.
You ever bottle of hot sauce shoved up your ass?
Quite the description of that paint.
So in a season, when your player dies, is he dead the next week, or is he back?
Say if on purpose or by accident. Yeah, I'll
I'll
make
find out a lot about this game.
That's the way to move the chains. That's good for a first down. This game is. They might consider calling a kill.
A PUBG too.
I mean, just the I understand that graphics don't make the game, but I look at it, even though it's in early access, the game just doesn't look visually good.
What
I
game?
didn't know that anybody was arguing that it did look good.
PUBG. So maybe that's what kept me away from even trying it, because I'm like, you know, it looks kind of messy, muddy, I guess is the word I'd say.
And that's typical for the genre. It's, you know, the Armor one also looked awful.
Yeah,
There's
Armor,
gameplay
I remember when
overlooked.
Armor came out, yeah. But like I said, graphics don't make a game. It just sometimes it's harder to pull you in if you don't adhere to the art style of the game in the first place.
Well, I can understand that.
But I definitely think those are the three that are leading for Game of the Year at Shaq.
But supposedly this Zelda game is good, even though it looks like hot garbage, so I'm gonna give it a try.
It's the best game.
Zelda
to
game.
come
Dude,
out.
I hated that Zelda game the first 6 hours. I was hating.
Because it was popular.
That's the way you do it. Let 'em have it and then take it away.
Hey Greg, remember when we did that video earlier this year about Switch? And you were like, Switch isn't gonna do that well. And I was like, here's the reason Switch is great. Remember?
I still think people that like the Switch are losers.
Yeah.
That's my hot take.
Talk about Butterfingers. He should have had
When you own a couple...
I never said the Switch was going to do bad. I never said it was going to
Your
do bad.
video was called Stuff That Sucks, Nintendo Switch! Was it not,
check.
sir? Was that not the title of the video?
I'll check.
You'll check.
third down in the offense.
Dude, it was a pros and cons video.
And who won?
Dude, but the whole concept was just to do a pros. Just because I do the cons doesn't mean I didn't like the system.
I know. I just wanted to give you more
What the
shit about
fuck?
He
something.
scores! It appears that the ref just received a pair of very expensive alligator skin shoes. They need to put some cement shoes on before
God,
they
this
put
is...
away.
You friended me a while back, and I'm sick of your political posts on Facebook. They still don't have a dislike button. I had a touchdown called back because of that, Krabs. I can't take this
That
anymore.
happened to me in the
Talking about
last
me?
game against you.
Third down and never gonna happen.
Yeah, we're sick of your post on Facebook, Greg.
I'm pretty liberal on Facebook.
Yeah, all he does is link Bernie Sanders shit.
One of those.
I've been doing a lot of the net neutrality stuff recently because that shit is.
We should
They need to
all
get rid of that net neutrality. It's just liberals making me. Ugh.
Yeah. Call your congressman and tell them to take away your net neutrality today.
I should. We don't need no more regulations, all right?
No, I support net neutrality. I don't want to take it away. I
Well,
want it to stay the same.
then you're insane.
Pure badass. Oh, great tackle. When his brain is unscrambled, he'll
I want to hear this argument. How am I insane because I don't want corporations to monitor the company?
They wouldn't do that.
Because
Oh.
You just want more regulation because you're liberal.
I'm gonna use some Greg logic real quick. Net neutrality is very popular. Popular things suck. Therefore, you should not like net neutrality.
bone crusher.
Done.
Folks.
No. I want net neutrality. I support net neutrality.
But it's popular, Greg. You
It's a
gotta be a
video game, dude.
contrarian, man.
It's an actual problem if it passes.
But if liberals like it, it's garbage, dude.
And Hemtroll's like, the Swedes were neutral during
And I
World
can
War
respect
II.
his opinion because anything liberal support is clearly garbage to him. So
I mean, not all of it, but most of it.
Too little, too late.
No, but seriously, yeah. If you hopefully net neutrality is not repealed entirely.
Oh man, talk about
That'd be
running
bad.
into a buzzsaw, Bricks.
Okay, he just ran into a buzzsaw.
There's like nothing good about it.
But he drove out of the field in a brand new hearse.
I mean, we didn't have net neutrality in the late 90s, and we still got the Mr. T Ate My Balls website, and nobody stopped it, so where's your argument?
Wait, what was that Mr. T's Balls website?
Yeah, Mr. T Ate My Balls.
And hamster
What about Google and eBay and all these sites that came up when we didn't have net neutrality? You're saying that, you know...
That was back. That was back when like telecommunications companies weren't allowed to acquire content companies.
That sounds like hoodoo to me. I've had Comcast for a while, and it's the fastest internet you can get here. I don't know why y'all are being this way.
I don't know. I'm tired of getting my butt kicked in the football league. Can't even beat the computer.
It's a real blow to the team.
And these penalties keep happening with 0 seconds on the clock. Just so they could run the score up on me.
Not easy.
I don't know if it's on easy or not, but hopefully this is over now. Why does it keep going? There's 0 seconds on the clock, but they're making me run this, even though it's 23-0. Is it over? Sweet nectar. This game looks really good graphically, I gotta say. And it's on Unity of all things.
Yeah, it's one of the smoothest running and operating Unity games I messed with on my computer.
Yeah.
Very impressed. We gladly recommend this game to anybody that enjoyed the originals on the Sega, or just looking for any type of football game on the PC, because as sad as it is, this is the best football game released on PC in over 10 years.
That's for sure. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. That was Happy Hour. Thanks to my guests, Greg and Chris from the world-famous Shack News. Go to shacknews.com for everything gaming news related, right, Greg?
Yes.
You can also get some good life advice there if you're willing to jump in the chatty and talk with the community.
No, don't go there.
You can go there. Yeah,
Dark place.
shacknews.com/chatty. It's not a dark place. Greg, you know what? If you've been listening this whole episode, you realize Greg doesn't like things that are good. So, by him saying don't go to the chatty, it's pretty much a huge endorsement. The guy doesn't like Star Wars or PUBG. Come on. I'm just saying.
I didn't want to see Star Wars, but now I kind of want to go see it.
Right?
And I mean, I've been needing a vacuum cleaner, and apparently these Roombers are pretty nice, so...
And if I'm going to buy some fruit, I want some Star Wars branded oranges. I don't see what's wrong with that.
So,
Clearly.
do the oranges have the word Star Wars stamped on them, or how does this work? Exactly. Where's your argument now?
Yeah.
They're
Checkmate.
in a bag.
Checkmate
They're in a bag
atheists.
And they have BB-8 on them.
What?
The
BB-8
oranges
is a
are in a
robot.
bag, the tangerine bag, and it says Star Wars BB-8.
I'm not familiar with what that means.
It's a robot.
R2-D2.
It's this generation's R2-D2 is BB-8.
So if you aren't watching the Star Wars stuff, how do you know so much about the new stuff?
Because it's fucking everywhere, dude. You can't turn your head and not see this stuff. At least when I am in California, it's everywhere.
Well, I mean, I live in the same America you do, and I didn't know about this robot.
Where do you live? Like, what state?
I want you to guess.
Ohio.
Guess again.
Definitely one of those Midwestern states because they're against net. So it's like, it's gotta be like Florida, North Carolina, Wyoming.
Yeah, you know, the Midwest states. Florida,
You know, the Midwest
Wyoming.
states, yeah.
Florida is one of my favorite flyover states.
Oh my god, people from California, am I right? Like, you know, like one of those flyover states, like
Nevada gets a little
Wyoming.
fuzzy.
Yeah.
Why don't you go
Yeah,
pick some
they're ours.
grapes and watch your backyard burn up in a wildfire? Sorry to all the people who have suffered from the actual fires.
Yeah.
Let's say like North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri,
No, you still haven't hit me yet.
Kentucky, Indiana.
Nope.
I know, so I can't guess.
Georgia.
We'll talk about it next week. How about that? That'll be
Okay.
the thing that keeps him
I
coming
guess the
back.
game
That'll
will
be
be
our
instead of
tease.
board until I hit.
Tune in next week to see Greg guess where Chris is from. And maybe we'll play PUBG next week.
Hopefully with Greg.
Yeah, I kind of think
I
that'd
should
be...
play it. I should play it and watch some streams on it and see how the mechanics work.
Oh,
No, you
please.
shouldn't watch any streams. You
Please.
should just jump in and play with
Just
people
play
that you
it.
enjoy playing games with. You have friends,
How many
right?
people play games with? Because nobody plays games anymore. All of my friends have like 17 kids.
Well, the people here talking to you right now are inviting you to play games with them.
Yeah, I'll even play that game with you, even though I don't like it. It's one thing to not like a game. It's another thing to not like the game and not have played it at all. You know, I'm just saying, Greg. You gotta play it.
There's some games though that I can tell I don't like and they're not good if I haven't played them.
Yeah,
Like Switch games.
like all of them. You know, I got.
That's not true.
I got some really great Switch games. In email, right? Some codes emailed to me. Uno and Monopoly. I played those two.
Mm-hmm.
Something else. Do you remember the Uno game with the cards?
What's a card? I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah, kids these days. Anyway, this is a great episode, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me here.
I think we all learned a lot about Greg today, and I still suck at video game football. So yeah,
It's tough for a pimp out there.
it is, man. Hey guys, sorry for coming in late. Greg is a funny guy. I don't know about that, Nars. But yeah, we'll be back next week around the same time, and then also we have a giveaway stream this Friday. I think Charles is going to be streaming Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and giving away some cool stuff.
I have to watch him play that because I still don't understand how it's played. We got a one-on-one session and I don't understand how it's played.
Yeah, we
So
had
you can put that on the list with PUBG.
we had like the Emperor of Nintendo sit there and play the game in front of us, and Greg and I were like, "Huh?
We're like, what? What are you doing? What's a Xeno? What's going on?
What blade is that? How many blades are there?" It's
This is the most confusing thing I've ever seen as a gaming journalist. I'm like, what is going on?
You know what? There's certain people who are gonna love that aspect of that game, Greg. So we can't.
No,
hate
that
on
game is insane. People love that game.
and it's beautiful. It looks really good. It's for a Switch game, especially, which crabs can't stand. It actually looks really
That's
good.
not true. Mario XCOM might be in my top 10 list this
Mario
year.
XCOM.
It is great.
It's a great game.
That is a great game. You're kind of just in love with Rabid Peach, though, for being honest.
I want to take Rabid Peach to the prom.
See, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think we've all learned enough for the week, and
The problem is where I live, they still have segregated proms, so I don't know how it would work.
they don't let rabbits and humans go to the same prom.
Mm-mm,
That ain't right.
it isn't.
So yeah, write something to your congressman about Rabid Peach being able to go to prom with Chris, and then also write something to Congress about net neutrality, either if you're for or against it, because I think both sides have good people on them.
Both sides. That's a going awesome. Both sides.
If we get rid of net neutrality, I can pay extra money to Comcast each month to block Greg from joining my TeamSpeak.
There you go, $5 no Greg DLC.
No, but they would have it be in a crate. It would be like a chance to win it. You wouldn't be able to just get the outright.
It's like $5 a week for one.
The first crate I would open would block, Charles or something. And I'd have to buy 40 crates until I got the one I wanted.
Do you have to get crates for unblocking people if you block the wrong person? Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I can't wait for all the DLC to come from No Net Neutrality, guys. This is exciting. Who else is excited?
I just had a great idea that I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about on the stream.
Well, then we're gonna go because I want to hear this. So thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.